Absolute banger. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I actually have something that's pretty special for you guys because Hoyoverse gave me early access to play Robin on their creator experience server. So huge shout out to them. And obviously keep in mind everything here is subject to change because this is early access. Robin doesn't come out for like another week. So just keep in mind that she could change. But I'm going to start off by saying that this character is just absolutely insane. And no, I'm not just gassing up the character for no reason. She is actually really, really good. And she actually fills in a really nice niche because let's go ahead and look at Robin here. Here she is, the beautiful lady herself. Let's look at her light cone first because I think it's good to understand her light cone before we really get into her kit because it all kind of plays into itself. So every time an ally attacks, the wearer gains 1 stack of cancellation, and cancellation will increase her energy regen by 3% and it stacks up to 5 times. But when she uses her ultimate, it will remove cancellation and give her a cadenza effect, which will increase her attack by basically 50%, it's 48%, and increase her team's damage by 24%, lasting for 1 turn. So she gets her ultimate back faster, essentially is what this is doing, and then when she uses her ultimate, she boosts her own attack by around 50%. So the way I have Robin set up right now is just a lot of attack, because she scales on attack. So she has 4,000 attack. So if I use my ultimate with this light cone, I basically get 6,000 attack on Robin. That's absolutely huge, because if we look at her traces, obviously her basic attack is just like every other person's basic attack. It's basic. But her skill increases all allies' damage by 50%, lasting for 3 turns, and the duration only reduces when Robin has a turn. So, by the sound of that, you might be thinking, okay, maybe we don't give her a lot of speed then, and you'd be absolutely right. I don't think Robin should be built with any speed, like, whatsoever, because the rest of her kit sort of plays into that as well. Her support talent increases all allies' crit damage by 20%, and then after allies attack enemies, Robin will additionally regenerate 2 energy for herself. So again, she doesn't need to have a turn to regen energy because she's passively regenerating it from her allies. And then her ultimate, she enters the Concerto state and makes all other allies immediately take action. It's like a Bronya skill, but like mass for your whole team. And then while she's in the Concerto state, it increases all allies' attack by 22% of Robin's attack plus 200. Moreover, after every attack by allies, Robin deals additional physical damage equal to 120% of her attack 1 time, with a fixed crit rate of 100% and a fixed crit damage of 150. That alone is insane. And then also, while in the Concerto state, Robin is immune to crowd control debuffs and cannot take her own turn until the Concerto state ends. A Concerto countdown appears in the action order bar. When the countdown's turn begins, Robin will exit the Concerto state and immediately begin her turn, and the countdown has its own fixed speed of 90. So essentially what all of that means is she buffs the living hell out of your allies, and she does damage on top of their attacks, and it fixes her speed at 90. So if you built Robin with a ton of speed, it would be completely wasted because as soon as she goes into her ultimate, she's going to be stuck at 90 speed pretty much no matter what. So after hearing all of that, you might think, okay, well then Robin's just going to be incredibly slow and it's going to be hard for her to have a turn, right? Well, not necessarily, because her first bonus ability advances her action forward by 25% when the battle starts, so this pretty much guarantees that Robin is going to have a turn in the first rotation of turns. So the way you play her is the battle starts, she basically gets guaranteed a turn, you throw her skill out, and then you just put her on the back burner until she gets her ultimate up. That's literally how you play Robin. It's so simple and easy. Then her second bonus ability, when using her skill, additionally regenerates more energy. She gets 5 more energy. Then her third bonus ability, while the Concerto state is active, so her ultimate, the crit damage dealt when all allies launch follow-up attacks is increased by 25%. So, based on her entire kit, she wants to be with follow-up attackers, especially this. I mean, she's buffing follow-up attackers' crit damage by 25%. That's obviously a big bump, and obviously every time someone does a follow-up attack, it's going to regenerate energy for Robin as well. So I'm putting her on a team with follow-up attackers because I really think that's what she's meant for. And she's a character that just wants a ton of attack, and you don't have to worry about speed at all, which is super, super nice. But let's go ahead and take a look at her Eidolons because they are also really, really good, especially her E1. Her E1 is, while the Concerto state is active, all allies, all type res pin is increased by 24%. So it's basically like getting a little slice of Acheron's kit, but given to your entire team, which is just going to make you do more damage. That's basically what this means. You're just going to deal more damage while Concerto is active. Then her E2, while the Concerto state is active, all allies' speed increases by 16%, and then the talent's energy regeneration effect additionally increases by 1. So if you remember, her talent would regenerate 2 energy, and now it will regenerate 3 if you have her E2. But then we move on to her E3, which is just obviously a stat increase. Then her E4, when using the ultimate, it dispels crowd control debuffs from allies, and while Robin is in the Concerto state, increases the effect res of all allies by 50%. So it basically gives her ultimate a cleanse on top of everything else that it already does, and makes everyone less likely to be re-affected by a crowd control debuff. So pretty good E4. I don't think this one is as valuable as the E1 or E2, but still something nice to have. And then her E5, obviously another stat increase. But then we get to her E6. It's just not okay. So while in the Concerto state, the crit damage of the additional physical damage caused by the ultimate increases by 450%. 450% crit damage. What in the world? And it says this can be triggered up to 8 times, but I promise you that doesn't matter because there's no way you're going to trigger that 8 times because whatever you hit with that is going to be dead. So it's taking this, which you already have a 100% crit rate for this attack, and it's adding 450% to the already 150% crit damage. So you're getting a 100/600 crit ratio on your Harmony support. Like, what? Absolutely ridiculous. I'm sure anybody that E6's Robin, you will literally just demolish everything in the game. It doesn't matter what your DPS is because this will be on top of whatever damage you're dealing while Robin's ultimate is active. But all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the MOC so I can show you guys exactly how Robin actually works. And I can go ahead and show you her basic attack. It looks pretty nice. It's just a little bird that she throws out. All right, so this is her skill. Incredibly nice animation, by the way. Like, come on. Absolutely amazing stuff. All right, so now I can show you guys her ultimate, which is just watch. Absolute banger. Her ult plays a song the entire time it's active. Like, is that not like the coolest thing ever in the history of Honkai Star Rail? But yeah, now everyone's going to deal a lot more damage. I mean, just look at the damage this follow-up attack is going to do. 105k. 82k, basically 200,000 damage, like, right off rip. And keep in mind, like, the Topaz I'm using is not built super well. So that was basically all Robin. But you can also see her ultimate in the turn order. So whenever that has a turn is when her ultimate ends. But like I said, it's locked at 90 speed. So as long as everyone else on your team has a relatively high speed, you're going to have this buff for quite a while. Easy 105k, again, like, it's crazy. She actually makes follow-up attackers really good now. And then her ultimate ends. But because of the passive energy regen from her teammates dealing damage, I already have it back. So I can just use it again. Now, with all of that being said, I know I've said a lot of really good things about this character so far, but there are some real concerns that I have with her, mainly being her light cone selection. Obviously, her signature is really good, but when it comes to replacement options, you really don't have a lot of ways to go. She can't really use Sparkles because she doesn't need crit stats. She can use Ron Maze because it does have a nice little bonus here, giving your allies increased damage when you use your ultimate, but the increased break effect is doing absolutely nothing for her, so it's not a really great option. Bronya's can work, but it's not that great either, and pretty much none of the 4 stars work that well on her either, unless you're using Planetary Rendezvous with, like, Clara as the DPS, or you can use Carve the Moon, Weave the Clouds. That also kind of works, but you're really limited on what you can do. And when it compares to her signature Light Cone, there is nothing that comes even close to how good her signature is. So much like Acheron, getting her signature Light Cone is going to make a very big difference with how she's going to perform. So if you're serious about pulling Robin, keep in mind that you're probably going to want her Light Cone as well. And my other concern is that her kit is so well suited for follow-up attackers, that's probably all you're going to be able to use her for. So unless you're using characters like Topaz, Himiko, Herta, characters like that, Robin's probably not going to be a very good pull for you. But other than those concerns, she is looking really, really good so far. But yeah, make sure to keep an eye out for my build guide on the 7th of May when she actually releases. And let me know what you guys think of Robin and if you're actually going to be pulling her in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.